Today, I want to talk about the pros of being a housewife because obviously they've got to be many. You know, if I have chosen this lifestyle, there must be some sort of advantages in it. I used to be a business owner. I used to have my own business. I used to work for different people. I used to love my career. So it wasn't like I hated every single minute and that's why I'm not doing this anymore. Why would I quit my career if it wouldn't be for my own happiness and for the greatest cause and for our family happiness? It wouldn't make any sense, right? When I'm talking about my own experience, by all means, it's not necessary how it is in every single family. There's always going to be some differences between us and between how we are, what we want, what we consider important in life. I'm going to talk about the pros of being a tradwife. Having your own time. I know in my previous video I've talked a lot about the fact that we don't always have that much time to do whatever we want, but as I said previously, if you can organize your life very well, if you have this skill, there is definitely certain times that you're gonna be able to do what you love. You know, I love to be able to do everything slowly. I hate rushing throughout life, and I feel like being a tradwife allowed me to have my own rhythm, allowed me to slow down so much. I feel like the world these days is just speed up. You know, I'm watching the movies and I can see that it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I can't even follow some scenes right now because the way they've edited and with the music and everything is just too quick. It's way too quick. People decided that they want more and more and more. We want more money, we want to achieve more, we have to have bigger goals, bigger houses, bigger cars, and this have its own price. You paying with your health, you paying with your peace, you paying with your family lifestyle, you paying with your friendship. You pay big price for that. You feel sometimes like your time is not valued. Your time is your biggest asset. And rather than killing it and killing yourself over a few more dollars, you will be so much better off slowing down and have that time of thinking what you actually need rather than just buying more things, being more stressed, then spending money on the medicines and doing everything else to get your health back. I can't see the point of it. Point number 2, if you have kids, you can stay at home with your kids. Again, it's not for everyone. I know some ladies who hate to stay, at home with their kids. I personally love that idea of, being at home with your little one, seeing them grow. I've talked to so many women and they always say one thing, that if they could change something, they would definitely cut their hours at work to be able to get back home and stay with the kids. I really don't understand this whole idea of going to work in order to get a nanny or somebody full-time who's going to be able to look after your kid. The kid's gonna be growing up with a stranger person. You have no idea what sort of values they give in them, how loving they are. You have no idea what's going on really. And just because you're gonna have the camera at home and you're gonna say to me, yeah, this is great person, I kind of don't accept that. I just don't get it. Most of the women right now, majority of the wages that they're getting, they have to pay that much towards that stranger woman to raise their kids. If you have family member, if you have somebody who can help you, I mean, that's great. What's not to love about it? But I know from the experience of my own cat, when I took her home, she was very young. My little catty, she was so small, and because I was working so much and I was traveling and then I was also playing volleyball, I literally didn't have enough time for her. So what I decided that I'm gonna give her to my mom. She loves animals, she knows how to look after them, but once I took her back, I only realized that she was always mine, and I've wasted these amazing years when I can really turn her into, not maybe into somebody new, but she would be a different cat. I know this. So I'm not happy of giving my kids away. I know some people have to. I understand the financial situations. I know it's hard, but really ask yourself, would you rather to raise your own kids and be responsible for it 100%, or would you let somebody to do it for you? Point number 3, I don't have anybody who is controlling me. Okay, so I'm not controlled by my boss, I'm not controlled by my colleagues, I'm not controlled by society. I feel freedom that I've never felt before, and this is only thanks to my husband that I can have this freedom. I don't have to wake up at certain hours. I don't have to do something that's not very pleasing. So I don't have to do something that's not very pleasing me. I am my own boss. Okay, and you can only manage that if you have certain skills. Again, we're gonna be talking about skills because I truly believe this life is not for everybody, as the media wanna put on top of you. I really think that younger women and younger generations supposed to focus on their education, maybe get some work experience, experience that life, and then decide for yourself what you would rather do. But be careful, because once you're in it, it's very hard to take the step back and relax. It takes months for your body to adjust, to release the stress. Once you have time, you're gonna experience a lot of different things. Okay, again, we're talking about the pros. So yeah, having your own time, great. Not being controlled by anybody. My husband, he doesn't control me. He does not control me. He is my biggest support. He want to help me. He's always looking after my well-being. God forbid that I'm gonna be like, oh, like something is hurting me. He's gonna be there 100% straight away. He's gonna make sure that I'm okay. And at work, some of the workplaces, they kind of look after your well-being, but God forbid you're gonna be late 5 minutes and they're gonna straight away ask you what you've been doing and why you're late. I mean, that doesn't really make sense for me. I also have time to look after my health. So if there's anything wrong, in the past, I was always kind of pushing it away. I didn't have time to see the GPs, and I didn't have time to focus on the diet or anything like that, because I was always stressed and I was always busy doing different things. So having the time to look after yourself, having the time to cook, clean diet, it's the big one. I've seen people getting ready meals all the time, and I couldn't do it. I've never liked ready meals. I can eat pizza from once in a while, but it's not something that I really like to do all the time. So once you're getting back from work after 8 or 10 hours, you still need to cook, you still need to clean. It's already 9 o'clock. There's nothing you can really do with that life, with your own life, and there's nothing that you can think about or improve or change. It's simply not enough time, to do everything. I've already lost myself in the numbers, but having my own choice, it's definitely one of the biggest pros of being a tradwife. Contrary to limiting beliefs of being a tradwife, everybody's saying that your husband's gonna control you, you won't gonna have your own choices, you won't have to have your husband say. And I'm saying to those people, if you are in those sorts of situations, whenever you're working or not, just get out of it, because I cannot imagine anybody not taking my opinion into consideration. Within a happy marriage, everybody's gonna take their opinion into consideration. So my husband is taking my opinion into consideration, and I take his. If I'm not happy about doing something, there's no hell in the world. I'm not gonna be like, I don't want to do it. If I don't want to do it, nobody's going to be able to push me. Nobody's going to be able to force me. I'm not doing it. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. I still have a choice. Yes, I can have a part-time job. Yes, I can do something online. I can sell something. There is still a choice. And I don't see the problem. Why not? If you have time, if you're not doing this against your other tasks and things that you're supposed to be doing, if you don't put work, as your first priority, then why the hell not? Okay? Safety. Another point is about safety. And this is not just about being tradwife or not. I think it's more about choosing wisely, and also getting married and have this stable home and good values. I cannot stress enough how different it is to have a boyfriend that everybody's gonna, everybody around you wants to tell me that it's okay to have a boyfriend, which doesn't give you any sort of security and sense of belonging. Rather than having a husband. And a lot of people these days, they are just afraid of getting married. They're afraid of living on one income. They are afraid because, God forbid, if something's gonna happen to your husband, what you're gonna do. So that safety that I feel, I just feel safe. I feel safe because I know he got me. He's got my back, and I feel safe because I know he always, he's always there for me. I don't have to go out and, coming back home in the middle of the night. I don't do, different things like this when you're gonna put your life in danger. And a lot of people don't even realize they're doing it. They going out partying, they taking drugs, they doing all sorts of different things, and they just they don't see the danger in it. So that's not something that I do, and I just feel safe. I'm waking up, I feel safe. I'm going to bed, I feel safe. Another pros of being a tradwife is definitely that I'm not in a competition with my husband, and this is something that I see loads around myself. A lot of women, unfortunately, and I think this is more like our nature, and it's so hard to learn to undo it. Once you work, once you're that boss babe and you're making your own money, you trying to tell your husband how it's supposed to be, and everything that he's gonna say, it's not good enough. So we don't have these problems because my husband, he knows that I value his opinion so much. It's not like he's above me or I'm above him. We're equal. We are still equal, even though I'm not bringing money home. So I'm not in a competition with my husband. I would much rather support him. Still, if I don't like something, I'm gonna say it out loud, but I'm trying not to, run my mouth too much, as I would probably be doing if I would be working full-time and making my own money. I already said the story in my previous video about the lady who used to work with me. Again, maybe this is not just about being tradwife, but I think being submissive is a big part of that story. You've got to be to the point, you've got to be submissive, because you need to let one person know that he's a leader, and if you're both trying to push, against one another, you're trying to fight against one another, you're never gonna get a leader. So who the hell's supposed to be leading right now if you're still trying to prove that you are the boss babe? You're making great money, you can do this, you can go on holiday by yourself, you can see your friends in the middle of the night because you think like you can do it all and he can't tell you shit. That's what I see right now. I've seen women who shouting at the husband, who are abusing, like the amount of I see a lot of women who are so aggressive towards their boyfriend, husband, their partners, and I just can't imagine doing anything like this, especially in the public place. This is not how it's supposed to be done. Like, you are a team. Yeah? You're a team, and you both bring in different things and different values to the relationship, but God forbid, stop shouting at your husband. Definitely another positive aspect of being a tradwife is the whole love that I have towards my husband. This is something that is so difficult to describe, but because I've been there and I work myself and I run my own business, I understand how hard it is, and it's especially harder for women because of our biology. And this is not something that anybody can tell me we are equal 100%. We are not. So I appreciate him coming back from work, going to work. Sometimes he's really tired, sometimes he's got bad days, and he still go there and fight for us. So the amount of appreciation that I have for him, it's so much more that if I would have to go and work full-time and have to provide 50-50 or whatever that is, I just can't imagine that. So I cannot stress enough how grateful I am for everything that he does for our family. And let me tell you one more thing, because you have all the time that you need it, you can spend that time very wisely. So you can, you can learn new craft, you can help your family, you can help the community, you can get new skills, you can learn new things. God forbid, if something would happen to my husband, there's always a plan that I can make on the go. And obviously I hope that we're gonna stay together until we are both grey, and maybe we're even gonna die together, like who knows. Also, the safety that I'm talking about, throughout my whole career, even though I could manage a lot of different things, I'm not gonna lie that I've experienced a lot of situations that should never be happen. I have experienced some things with my bosses and people that wanted a bit too much of me, or even from women, like the whole sort of jealousy. I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to experience other people who are just so jealous or angry at you, because he gives me that protection for life. There is no guilt in me. The guilt that I'm not at home enough, that I'm not looking after my husband enough, that I wouldn't be looking after my kids enough, I leave the guilt free. I literally do whatever I love. He is my provider, my protector. He's got all the financial responsibilities on his head, and I'm the homemaker. I look off this aspect of our lives. That doesn't mean that obviously like I'm not gonna help with financials, like we work together, you know, on that, and that doesn't mean that he never is going to help me with other chores as well, but there are some more clearly defined roles that we stick to, and that minimize stress as well. So it's not like we're always going to be, you know, 50-50, but who is doing this 50 and who is doing that 50. Again, this is something that works for me, and it works for us. I think the last point that I'm going to talk about in this video is that obviously I can do what I love. I've always loved to stay at home, even though I worked my ass off. I always appreciated every single moment when I could just stay at home and redecorate and cook and clean. Like, this is definitely 100% me. So it's not the question whether I can do other things, it's the question whether this is something that I feel like at home, sort of thing, and I do want to share that with everybody. So I hope you find it useful. Let me know, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if that's something that you liked and how do you imagine your life to go right now. If there's something you want to add, please feel free, and I will see you in the next one. Bye my beautiful angels.